UEFA Cup. After flirting with the Champions League, anything less than a UEFA Cup place would be a massive disappointment for Everton. But the Villa fancy it too, and they've been scoring with reckless abandon of late.
There's something rather delightful about the way Villa celebrate their many goals at the moment. They just enjoy scoring them. And why not? And they show their delight. All very unfashionable in the day and age of glowering sort of introspection. And the odd bit of boxing. Tim Cahill's absence this last month has been a major factor in Everton's transformation from Champions League contenders to UEFA Cup hopefuls. Defeat today would see Moyes' boys surrender fifth spot. Guy Mowbray was at Goodison for us.
No two clubs have clashed more often than these in England's top flight. And this, the 186th league meeting of Everton and Aston Villa, is a significant one, with the victors to take pole position in the race for fifth and a place in Europe. Well, it's been 10 days since Everton last played, time enough to get one of their missing key midfield men back to fitness. Leon Osman for Tony Hibbert, the only change made by David Moyes, who has Mikel Arteta back on the bench. Villa field the same team that destroyed rivals Birmingham last Sunday, their third successive win, scoring 15 goals along the way, 3 each for Young, Barry, Carson and Agbonlahor. Here to see whether Goodison Park has got talent, Amanda Holden. Fernandes. Half blocked by Bouma. It comes back to Yakubu, who fires in. It was fierce, and it was always whizzing wide. Barry goes for goal. Tim Howard was a spectator. I think he was pretty confident it was going wide, but it was hit pretty hard and true by Villa's captain. Pienaar looks to set Yakubu away and running up against Reo-Coker. Reo-Coker just gets his body in the way, but he doesn't hold Yakubu up for long. Good effort, parried by Carson to Fernandes. Miss hit, tamely wide. A swift Everton breakaway. Look at the power and pace of Yakubu. Niegel Reo-Coker just couldn't stop him. Terrific effort. Beaten out by Carson, who was quickly back to his feet, just in case Fernandes was to find the target with the rebound. But he got it all wrong. Reo-Coker. Carsley's touchdown falls for Mellberg, and he keeps on going and wins a free kick. Lunging in went Jagielka, right on the edge of the Everton penalty area. Tim Howard's got to guess right, see it, then stop it. Not necessarily in that order. It's going to be Ashley Young off the underside of the crossbar. Still shaking. A terrific effort from Ashley Young. Howard wasn't expecting that. Like an arrow over the corner of the wall and speared into that crossbar. Started the first half at 100 miles an hour, did David Moyes' team. Villa, I think, just possibly shaded the honours in terms of pressure for the rest of the first 45. Carsley straight into the edge of the wall. Blocked by a combination of Petrov and Yakubu. Carson struggling to deal with that cross from Fernandes. And it's behind for an Everton corner here. Carsley thinks that when he pinged the ball at pace towards the box, that he should have got a handball. It does come off the left arm of Petrov pretty clearly. David Moyes, I'm sure, will concur with that view. It's the big talking point topic of the weekend after Michael Carrick at Stamford Bridge yesterday. Yakubu, marvellous touch. On he goes, the pullback is behind Pienaar though. Neville arrives to strike and it's deflected in. Martin Laursen applies the touch. Phil Neville takes the credit and sets off in celebration. Everton get the breakthrough. There's a huge slice of luck attached to it. Neville charged onto this, one thought in his mind, he hit it hard, He hit it into Laursen. Into the net it went. Carson sent the wrong way by his own player. Doesn't matter how they go in a game that matters this much. Everton, 1 foot tentatively placed towards that UEFA Cup place again next season. Yakubu just pulled at the shot, all along the floor, out and wide. Well, the way Neville celebrated, you try taking it off him. Martin O'Neill's men look as though they're going to have to settle for the lottery of the Intertoto Cup and an earlier start to next season than they really would have liked. Barry down. They won't, of course, have given up on this yet, not by a long stretch. They've got a corner. It is worth pointing out that Villa are one of the Premier League's comeback experts this season. They've claimed 17 points from being behind in the current campaign, managing to turn it around totally with wins against Fulham, Wigan and Newcastle. Young's corner, flicked on by Carsley, and Howard has to touch it over his own crossbar. Lee Carsley, who caused the problem in his own penalty area there. Attacks the ball well enough, can only glance it onto Carew. Might just have dropped under the bar second time. All hands on deck for Everton here. Barry in. Mellberg jumps, it's behind him. Howard somehow keeps it out. There's a man on the goal line too. And then Howard pounces when he finally saw where the ball was. Had enough protection from the blue-shirted bodies around him. Nothing between the two teams, over the course of their long history of meeting each other. 185 previous league meetings, 70 wins each. Johnson in a race with Reo-Coker. Johnson has runners arriving to help him here. Looking for Yakubu. Carson hasn't got it. I think it came off Knight. It's a corner. Arteta makes himself available for the short corner. Pienaar. Jagielka's made a late run into the box. Carson has to fly through the air to touch it behind. Deceptive ball played in. Villa a little asleep at the back. Good job Carson was switched on ultimately. Two Villa players went for it. Bouma and Mellberg. This time it is Bauma's to clear on his own. Villa just looking as though they're stepping it up a little bit in search of the equaliser to realistically keep their European hopes alive. Otherwise it's a short summer break and the Intertoto for them most likely. Barry. Lescott touches it behind, it's a corner. Problem for Joleon Lescott too. Corner comes in, Mellberg looking for it. Agbonlahor! Aston Villa are level. Gabby Agbonlahor just loves facing Everton. Mellberg tried to help it on, Agbonlahor just lurking around the back of everybody. What a good finish this is, pokes out a boot, pokes it past Howard. And now we should be set for a frantic finale at Goodison Park. Carsley to Arteta. Back to Lee Carsley, chance to scoop it in. Yobo fires it into the roof of the net. Neville in no mood to celebrate this time. time for full concentration. Everton can't let it slip again. Look at Carsley holding back, found again by Arteta. Not a question of offside. And in comes Yobo. First time, roof of the net, on the volley, 2-1 Everton. Would you believe it? It's turned around again. Neville. Berger. Barry. Opened up for him. Carew. It's turned in. This is incredible. I think it might be a Lescott own goal. And that was straight from the restart. Carew went up with Lescott, who applied the touch. It is Carew. 4 goals in his last 3 games. Twice Everton have led. Twice Aston Villa have stormed back into the game. I think he's just summed up the feelings of every Evertonian. Osman to get up high, and Gareth Barry flicks it behind. It will just run for an Everton corner too. Lescott is up. Arteta puts it towards Yobo. Carson got down at his post. Did he clear it away, or was it blocked by Petrov? Close for Everton to winning it all over again. Petrov leaning in to clear. Is there one last Everton chance here? No. All over. What a terrific second half. Everton surely thought they'd won the game twice, thanks to Phil Neville's deflected shot and Joseph Yobo's close-range volley. But twice back came Villa. Gabby Agbonlahor and John Carew, honours even at Goodison Park, and it's still just advantage Everton in the battle for 5th in the Premier League. Everton 2, Aston Villa 2.
I'm disappointed that we conceded a goal so quickly after scoring. I don't know if we touched it since when we scored the goal, after we scored the second. So disappointed that we couldn't hang on to it. But nevertheless, it was a good game. You know, 2 teams going for it. Aston Villa are in really good form at the moment. So it was a hard-fought game.
18 points gained from losing positions this season. How'd you do it?
What's that?
18 points from being behind this season. How on earth do you do it?
Well, we've scored more goals than anybody else in the Premiership away from home this season, with the second top goal scorers, and I think that's a remarkable achievement, and I think it says plenty about the players. You know, they've a great old determination about themselves. We're capable of scoring goals. You know, we can fashion goals in from lots of positions, and we never give up. To be perfectly honest, I think that has probably epitomised us today. But we have a lot to play for still.
Yet another goal from you. You're flying towards the end of the season.
Yeah, it's been well for the team and for me, you know, and the last month. So I just hope we now can finish it off, you know, perfectly and grab that 5th place.
There was a freshness today. The atmosphere was fantastic today, and 2 teams that both wanted to win the game, and it was a great game to play in. The conditions helped, you know, a bit of drizzle on the pitch, and you know, it probably was a good advert for English football.
So, which is the 5th best team in English football then? That's what they're playing for, 5th place. Who's the better of these two?
Well, there's not a lot between them, to be fair. I think obviously Everton are on a bit of a poor run, 1 winning 7, and I think Villa, the way they've ended this season, been fantastic. They're scoring goals from all over the pitch. There's not an awful lot between them now. There's 3 points between them at the moment, but by the time the end of the season comes, you can't pick between them. And it was an absolutely fabulous game today, and Phil Neville's right. It was an advert for English football. It was
Does a little bit of drizzle help?
It does a bit,
In
yeah.
what way?
Well, keepers, slide tackles are better. I mean, the first half was a bit slow, the first half, but once the second half started, everyone was really going for it. In the last 10 minutes was sensational, wasn't it?
Gav, so what was the David Moyes master plan then?
I mean, he'd be disappointed because if you've been twice in front, you'd expect to win the game. And I think David Moyes, going into this game, knows that a win at home should secure them a European spot. So how does he win against a Villa side with momentum, a rampant Villa side who'd previously scored 15 goals in the 3 games before? I think he set out to subdue the Villa attack, the Villa threat, if you like, from the start. The fulcrum of the attack, the pace and the flair. The fulcrum of the attack is so often Carew up front. I thought they snuffed him out in front when he had the ball. See him circled here, watch the Everton players surround him, and watch them close him down now. There's Osman, now Carsley, now Neville, and they steal it away. Then when the ball's knocked long, he's challenged by Yobo, and then in behind, sweeping up, here's Jagielka. Next, the pace. Agbonlahor loves to get in behind, but because Everton defended so deep, there's not that space for him to spin off. And watch how tight Jagielka stays to him as the ball's knocked across here, knocks across the midfield area. He's touch tight, marking him tightly. Now, he needs this midfield to stop that ball coming through to Agbonlahor. Look how hard they work at that block there. Closed down over here, knocked across, there's a foot out there, and eventually it comes, and again the danger is snuffed out. And then you've got the flair. Ashley Young has been sensational this season. When he gets the ball, there's always danger. But just look at Johnson, track back here, get all the way back, force him to check, and force him to play it inside into a less dangerous area. And again here, as it goes out to Young, you watch Carsley and Neville double team him. They get together on him. Young is now forced to look elsewhere. He's looking to try and get between them. Can he do it? He's checking. When he tries something, when he tries to knock it between them, he has to knock it too far. And I thought they did that really well. And they set the stall out from the start to subdue Villa first, and they did it well.
So having subdued them, Lee, what was the more positive attacking plan for Everton?
Well, I think when you're playing Villa, they play really narrow in midfield with Barry, Petrov and Reo-Coker, really narrow. So what that does, Ashley Young's got a free role. So what that does, it exposes their fullbacks. And to me, you need to push the fullbacks on. Your own fullbacks, play 2v1s and expose the fullbacks. We pick the midfield players up there, look, really narrow. So in the end, Mellberg has to come out. He's a right back. He's come out of his position because there's no cover in front of him. He hasn't got that safety valve of a midfield player doing his work. Again, 3 midfield players, really narrow. Where's the space? On the left-hand side. Mellberg has to come over again, and he eventually wins it. Comes out. Now you need overlaps. Get your fullbacks forward. Here comes Lescott on the left wing. Whips a great ball in. Here it is again. This is on the right side. Look at Bouma. They're the midfield players, really narrow. This is the left-back Bouma coming right out of his position, nowhere near his back four. Creates the space behind. There's your fullback on your overlap. Creates the space. Again, this time the space is in front of Mellberg. No covering midfield player in front of him. So the space is there. They can play it, they can pop it off. They end up getting in down the left-hand side. And again, watch the 3 midfield players when we ring them, how narrow they are and where is the space when they break. There they are again. The space this time is on the right side of the pitch. Arteta breaks. He needs some help. Who's helping him? It's your overlapping fullback, Neville. And this is a goal. Get your fullbacks forward. Try and support. As the ball comes across, poor cross, pull back. Who's coming up? Gary Neville. Hits Laursen. If you're going to beat Villa, I think, yes, they have the ball a lot and they attack you and they've been sensational. I think that's the weakness, to get at their fullbacks.
Great combat by Villa.
Yeah, Villa are a good side and they've shown some great flair this season. But I think today they really showed great character and they came back twice.
Bounce back ability.
Bounce back ability.
Don't use that word.
Those players who are subdued, you only need to give them, they're such good players, you only need to give them half a chance. Watch here, Osman circled, watch Agbonlahor come across him like a good striker, hits that on the up as well. Lovely finish, striker's finish, superb. And then the second goal is obviously Carew. Watch as it's played back here to Barry. I'm going to circle Carew in the middle. Just watch here as he pushes away from Jagielka just to get that little bit of space. Now he's between defenders. Now a bit more strength and he knocks Lescott out of the way. Now he's goal side and he won't miss from there. As I say, You know, they took care of them for a large proportion of the game, but they didn't need much.
Give us another reading of those.
Well, we'll see those 2 goals again, just from a defensive point of view, because Everton have been fantastic defensively. Carsley, his job, near post man, to stop anyone getting in front. He just gets dragged towards the ball. Lescott is tight on Carew, but he just gets out fought. That's the key to this goal. Little flick on, Agbonlahor, far post. And the second goal, as the ball comes back to Gareth Barry, Arteta goes to close him down, show him back to the left, outside, but he doesn't. He lets him walk inside, free cross. Once he crosses a ball in from there, the back four's not in a bad position, just gets wrestled out. And when a ball comes in from that angle, Adrian, with that whip on it, it's really hard to defend against. So, you know, Everton have been solid all season, but just gave away a couple of weak goals there.
Great game, though. Fantastic.